Welcome everybody to the Five Borough Sports Podcast. I'm Pablo. This is Nick, and we are your hosts for this show that we're going to talk about New York sports, all things New York sports. And today we're going to talk about New York Mets baseball, New York Yankees baseball. It's playoff time. It's October. This is where you want to be. And then we're going to jump onto some topics about tomorrow's games with the Jets and the Giants. So first topic of the day, Mets-Phillies, NLDS Game 1. This is going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be exciting. So let's get into it. Mets-Phillies Game 1 of the NLDS. Mets came back against the Milwaukee Brewers in a crucial Game 3. Pete Alonso, one of the greatest home runs, I think, not only in his career, but also in the Mets history. The Mets finally got out of the wild card for the first time since 2015. I think that this is going to be an important game. The Mets are coming in hot. They got Kodai Senga on the mound, who hasn't pitched in a few months, coming off of numerous injuries, numerous rehab starts, getting injured in those rehab starts. This is a crucial game for the Mets. So I don't know how they're going to play against this Phillies team who has been red hot all season. October baseball is it's a different time, you know? I think that if they play the way they did in the first game against Milwaukee, this game could go in the Mets' favor. But against a team like the Phillies, who don't have a good bullpen, unlike Milwaukee, who knows where this is going to go, you know? Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker, he's a crucial player, and he proved it in both of the games he played for the Mets in the Milwaukee series. When he starts, the Mets play good. And I think that's going to be the crucial player in this Philly series, to be honest with you. On top of the fact of Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor had the only 2 hits besides Pete Alonso's home run and Brandon Nimmo single and Marte single that turned into a double at that game. Until the 9th inning, Francisco Lindor had the only 2 hits for the Mets, you know? Brandon Nimmo, he's doing his thing for the Mets. He's been hot for them recently. He's showing why he could have a captain role on this team. And Pete Alonso finally showed up. So these guys, these crucial players that the Mets have are going to have to step up for this Philly series. We beat them in the regular season. We've lost to them numerous times in the regular season. They have our number in the regular season. Like I said, playoff baseball is different.
I mean, today's a crucial game for the Mets. Game 1, their Wheeler's on the mound. It's their best pitcher by far, and you're on the road. And if the Mets can win this game, the series is going to be completely different. They will then have Nola versus Sevy, and they're going to have their 2 best starting pitchers this year. Even Senga, you don't know how he's going to pitch today, even if he starts to even get good at all. When you have Sevy and Minaya going back-to-back after winning Game 1, and then you only have to face Nola and Sanchez, who are still 2 very good pitchers and had very good seasons, it'll be crucial if they win Game 1. I mean, like, this will change the series for the Phillies and the Mets, and this will kind of write the script on the Mets will have it in their hand. They just need to play ball after that. But like you said, Lonzo hopefully can build off that big home run that he had. Maybe it will get him going. And then same with Lindor. Lindor had a huge game, was working at bats. Every at bat he had against the Brewers in Game 3, he was getting to a full count. He was working that bat. I think the 1 out he made, I don't remember if it was a fly out or a ground out, but I think he worked the count full. And it was a huge at bat for him and the team. Even just getting him to the plate in the 9th inning, shut up the whole entire inning, and then Nimmo single. So the Mets just need one big inning, like I was trying to say, that like they had against the Brewers in Game 3, and they can write this script themselves, and they can really win this first game. But the Phillies are coming off 5 days rest, and as we've seen in previous years, this rest has affected teams. The Mets are coming off a Game 3 win, and they only had off yesterday, so they have the momentum. The Mets have what they need to win this series, and they just got to go out and play, and play inning by inning and pitch by pitch, and try to go out there and win a ball game.
Last time out against Zach Wheeler, it was Sunday Night Baseball, national TV, ESPN. This was a crucial game for the Mets. This game had a massive effect on the rest of the season because Zach Wheeler was on the bump. Like you said, best Phillies pitcher by far this season. He's just been insane. He's had the Mets number. He's had almost every team's number this season. In that game, the Mets were able to score 2 runs against them. The only runs they scored that game while McGill shut the door. Today we have Senga on the mound. Senga, by far, I believe is a better pitcher than McGill. But like I said, he is coming off of an injury. So how long are the Mets going to keep him on the bump? Who knows? He said in an interview yesterday, I'll go 10 pitches. I'll go 200 pitches. I'll stay out there for as long as they want me to, which is a great thing to hear, but it's just a matter of time. It depends on how good he does in his first few innings. Depends on how many runs he gives up. Depends on how many walks he gives up. He walks a lot of guys, you know? I'm not going to say that Senga's the best guy when it comes to striking guys out, but he makes them put the ball in play. And that's good, you know? If it's not a home run, it's going to stay in, of course. That's how baseball works.
Yeah.
But I think today the game plan for Kodai Senga shouldn't be to focus on striking a lot of guys out. I think he should keep his pitch count low, make these guys put the ball in play, ground balls. We have a good infield. We probably have one of the best infields that we've had in history. And if they could put the ball in play in the infield, I think great things are going to happen. I think we could get out of the innings 1, 2, 3 with the breeze and then let the offense do their thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Senga is gonna have to pitch a good game, but also I don't think they're gonna want him to go like a lot of pitches. Like he said, like he'll go whatever they want him to. But like his first start this year, like he was on a pitch count of like 80 pitches, and he still went 5 1/3, even though he got hurt. Um, so I don't think they're gonna want to push him so that happens again. I think they're gonna, if he pitches good and he is scoreless through 4 innings, I think they're gonna end it there, and then I think they're gonna go to Peterson and McGill. I think they're gonna go to Peterson because one of his outings this year against the Phillies, he went 7 2/3 against them and gave 1 run, and you guys did lose the game, but still he pitched. I think that was the game against Wheeler. That no, okay, that was against Sanchez, but Sanchez still did pitch a really good game that day. But still, he has proved that he can pitch against the Phillies, even though his last outing was kind of rough. Um, he, how do I word this? He's proven like that he's a good pitcher against the Phillies. So with that being said, if they go from Senga to they go to Peterson, and then maybe they can go to Stanek. If it's a close game, even you still want to go to Diaz. They do have a game to play tomorrow, so they don't get another off day. Um, so they're gonna have to, know who to use and save guys for tomorrow, because then Peterson can't come up the pen tomorrow. And let's say if Severino has a short start tomorrow, then they're gonna have to go to McGill. After that, and it's kind of like pick your poison. I don't know if they're gonna want to go with Peterson long or not. I'm not 100% sure what their game plan is going to be with the pitching, but if they can get like 2 runs off Wheeler and not let him go more than 7 innings, and they can get to the Phillies bullpen and they can try to get a rally and force the Phillies to bring guys in, I think this game can go really well for the Mets. And like it's just a crucial win. Like they have the momentum. Don't let the Phillies get hot. We've seen what they can do when they've gotten hot in the past. And yeah, and now I'm gonna pull up the lineup too. I'm gonna pull up the Phillies and the Mets lineup. So we see Lindor's batting off, Vientos batting second, playing third, Nimmo's playing third in left field, Alonso first base, Iglesias second base, Winker DH, as Pablo was saying. Winker has had some crucial games for them, and then Marte in right field, batting seventh, Tyrod Taylor in center field, and then Alvarez in ninth spot, playing catcher. So this is the best lineup they can bring out. And, I mean, there's a righty on the mound, so they're going to put Winker in over Martinez. But also, I would feel like if the Phillies do bring out one of their lefty relievers, like Strom, then they will pinch hit JD for him if it does come to that. But I don't know. Has Winker been good against lefties?
Well, let's take a look at that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. They're platooning him. Yeah, like 1 home run, 9 RBIs this season. 21 for 89.
He's batting a 236 against lefties this season,
Yeah.
which isn't better than his numbers against righties, but it's something.
Yeah.
You know,
And Martinez has killed lefties, I assume. I mean, like how he has been his whole entire career. Let's see.
um,
Yeah, I mean, he's got a 263 batting average, 836. So he is. So that's the platoon they're doing right now. So, and his pinch hitting numbers, let's see. As a pinch hitter this season, he's 1 for 5. So he hasn't had too much experience in the pinch hitting this season. So coming off the bench for him is going to be hard. So I wonder if they would just stick with Winker or not. But yeah, it's gonna be a good game, and like the Mets, they just have to stick in with it, and they have to not let the lead go too far, and let Senga pitch good, and just hope that Senga can give them a couple innings. Something that the Mets don't mess up their bullpen, and then tomorrow they're messed up with it because they've used so many relievers today, and if they lose the game, that you don't want to use so many relievers and lose the game. So if they do lose and Peterson can go 7 innings after Senga goes 1 or 2, then kind of saved yourself for tomorrow because you didn't lose any of your other relievers. And let's say Severino even has a bad start tomorrow, that they can still use every other reliever and get to the game. But it's gonna be an interesting game, man.
I think a key name on this lineup that is going to be of this man is going to be a make or break against the Phillies because he was red hot against them in the month of September, and that man is Jose Iglesias. When we played the Phillies in those 7 games in September, this man had a hit in every one of those
Yeah,
games. And against Zach Wheeler, he posted a 2 for 4, if I'm not mistaken, a 2 for 4 in a game where we only had 2 runs, which is crucial. If Jose Iglesias could go out there today and get us 2 hits, get us some runs on the board, batting behind Pete Alonso, if we could get those 4 guys in front of him on base, I believe that Jose Iglesias is going to do magical things, especially when it's a 2 strike count. But I've noticed a lot watching Jose Iglesias play at 2 strike counts. This guy puts the ball in play, and that is good. That is perfect. Doesn't matter. Maybe if there's 1 out, sac fly. If there's no outs, ground out. A run's going to score if we have a man on third base or second base. He's crucial in this game against the Phillies, and I think that's going to be the player to watch for today's game.
yeah, yep. Honestly, I think the player we watch is now with the Yankees. Bader was huge in the postseason a couple years ago, and Cal Quantrill isn't on the Phillies, but I think Bader, since Tyrone Taylor is in the game, um, pinch hit late in the game, I think Bader's going to come up big off the bench. I think we're going to see a big pinch hit in this game from the Mets. The Phillies are going to bring in a lefty. They're going to bring in Strom at some point. After Wheeler gets knocked out, the Mets are going to have some trouble on the base. And I think a big pinch hit situation from someone on the bottom of the order is going to stir up some part of the game, either if it's Bader or Martinez. But Bader has been good in the playoffs, and especially a couple years ago. So that's, I think, the key to the game is the pinch hitter at the right situation, and Mets just using the right pitchers to get to the win today, and trying to knock out the Phillies in the first game. But it's gonna be a good game.
Let's move.
Yeah,
Let's move on to the Phillies lineup here. Let's go into the rivals here. The Phillies have Schwarber leading off, which is something to see. Schwarber, I don't see him much as a leadoff guy. He's a power bat, but this is an interesting tactic from the Phillies. I guess they want to pounce on Kodai Senga early, which is a smart move because they want to test them out. They want to test the water, see if they could get a pinch leadoff home run here with Kyle Schwarber. And I think that is a good idea from the Phillies. And then they had Turner batting behind him, Harper batting third, Castellanos batting fourth, Bohm batting fifth, Stott batting sixth, Real Muto batting seventh, Brandon Marsh batting eighth, and Rojas batting ninth. Interesting lineup from the Phillies. They've had a good team all season. Like you can't you can't go wrong with this lineup. You really can't if you're the Phillies
Yep.
here. And I think that's going to pose a threat to the Mets. But I think if they play their cards right, their offense does their thing, it'll be fine. It'll make up for maybe a run that gets scored on Senga or a run that gets scored on somebody in our bullpen. We
Yep.
just have to hope that we can rely on our bullpen today, especially with Kodai Senga. Probably, I don't see Senga going more than 5 innings today. There's no way Senga goes more than 5 innings. So our bullpen has to step up. This is going to be a massive bullpen game, especially after that Brewers series. We saw what happened. We don't have to go over what happened with the bullpen. It was a complete implosion. And let's just pray that doesn't happen again. But if they could do their thing today against this behemoth of a Phillies lineup, I think the Mets could win this game.
Yep. Um, and the Phillies lineup is really good, but as long as you're working through it and you're getting the guys out, and they're gonna be working counts, and I assume Castellanos has been hot recently because him batting cleanup I did not expect at all. I thought they were batting like Boehm or Harper cleanup most of the season, but yeah, I mean two power bats behind Turner and Schwarber, who is like you said a home run hitter, or he's gonna give you a walk, or he's gonna strike out. He's basically just like how Joey Gallo was, strikeout, walk, home run, and it's nothing else. He's gonna do those three things, and so yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be a hard game for Sanga, especially his first start. Like he hasn't started much this year. So, like I said, I believe too. I don't think he's going more than 5 innings, but even I think if he's pitching really good, they're still gonna hold him at 4 because like even they can use him in game 3 or game like at the pen or game 4. As well if he doesn't throw too many pitches, but they're gonna want him to start again, and they're obviously gonna try to avoid injury like what happened during this season. So um, yeah, I think. I'm trying to think.
And I think a key issue that's going to come from this game, we're in Philly. Game one is in Philly. We all know how Philly's atmosphere is when it comes to playoff baseball.
Yep.
Probably one of the best atmospheres in baseball. Coming from a Mets fan, if you're a Phillies fan, you're going to want to be there. You're going to want to show support for your team. And they have one of the loudest stadiums when it comes to October baseball. And that's going to play a role today because there's going to be pitch com issues. I feel like that's going to be a problem for the Mets. They have to get going early because once those pitch com issues come, that's going to shatter us.
Yeah.
And we gotta focus. Alvarez has to talk to Senga. He has to tell him we gotta have a game plan here. If the pitch com doesn't work, we gotta know what we're doing. And that's what one thing the Mets got to look out for today is the pitch com issue
Yep.
because it's happened numerous times. It happened in Milwaukee a few times. That's not going to be that. I don't even think Milwaukee's crowd is half of what Philly's crowd is going to be
Yep.
today, and that's going to be a key role here. And I can't wait to see how that affects the Mets play.
Yeah, the pitch com issue happened to Williams at the end of the game. It threw him off his game, I feel like, and then he kept tipping his pitches, and that's big too. Like these guys are stressed out, man. So in situations like that, dude, like that's where you want to look for if this guy is tipping pitches. And I think I heard too that they saw he was tipping pitches in the bullpen, and then I don't know what happened. I remember seeing this, and they told Alonso in the dugout or something. They told everyone, and that he was tipping pitches, and I think that helped the Mets to a certain extent. So definitely, if even Philly starts tipping pitches, because I don't know how you're tipping pitches at your own stadium in October, it doesn't really make sense. So if the Phillies are doing it too, that'll be bad. But yeah, no, definitely the pitch com will come to an issue. It's a loud stadium, but the Mets did have played in situations like this before. Lindor has played in situations like this before. 2017. So they got some experience with some guys, and I think that they can get through it. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. That's probably it for the Mets game. You gotta hope that I think the Mets could come up with a W here, but
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time. Time will tell.
it'll be a
I don't
big
want to
game
give
for
my
them.
predictions
Yeah.
here, I don't want to give my I don't give my predictions like that, but I we'll just see what happens with the Mets game. But for now, we're gonna go into Yankees Royals game one. Nick, take us home.
Yes. So today's a big game for the Yankees. They are playing 7 out of 9 games. I like seven. They're playing 2 games in 9 days or something. So they're on extreme rest right now. Especially the last 5 days off. They're getting Jake Cousins back, and our lineup after losing Rizzo for the ALDS, and maybe even further on after a sprained finger. I'm just gonna show you guys right now. Leading off, we have Gleyber Torres playing second base. Then batting second, Juan Soto in right field. Aaron Judge in center field, of course, batting third. Austin Wells batting cleanup, batting fourth. Um, Stanton batting fifth, DH. Chisholm batting sixth, playing third base. Volpe batting seventh, shortstop, and then Cabrera and Verdugo. They decided to leave Dominguez out, which is understandable. You have a righty on the mound, and Dominguez's stronger side is his left side, but also it's the first game. Dominguez has played horrible defense in left field, so they're going to want to put the more experienced guy in. And Verdugo was swinging a little bit of a bat, and also batting ninth too for Verdugo isn't bad because he can just get you that single once in a while, and that'll be great for Torres, Soto, and Judge coming up at the bottom of that. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees have not faced Walker that much this season, but like the guys that have faced him, Rizzo was like 26 for 56 against him in his career, so losing him is bad, like very bad, because he would have killed Walker. But Judge is like 1 for 18 with 11 strikeouts. So definitely gonna want to look to change it around today. But also they're probably gonna be pitching around Judge and Soto, what how Wells was playing in the season. But if Wells can turn it on to how he was, and he can get us that big hit like he got against the Royals, even a couple weeks ago, the first game against the Royals, I think it was the first, that he had the 3-run home run to take the lead, and then that's what led us to win the game. So, and Jazz was swinging the bat pretty well in the last series. I think he had 2 home runs in the series against the Pirates, or I think it was one against the Pirates, and then no, it was 2, I think. But he had some big hits. So Jazz and Volpe back to back stealing bases could be good for Cabrera and Verdugo, them being below them to get that single and stuff. So I like the lineup personally. I'm glad they put Cabrera in. I thought Rice was going to be in, but Cabrera's better side is his left side. So I'm glad, and he was swinging the bat really well. So I'm excited. I like this lineup. I wish Dominguez was in it, but also he can still pinch hit or pinch run at any point. So yeah.
Yeah, man. The Yankees, they have an offense, man, and that's gonna be one thing for the Yankees in this postseason. And I think a key guy, besides the main guys, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, we all know how they are when it comes to offense. But a key guy in this series is going to be Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton has proven in the playoffs numerous times that he could do the job for the Yankees. And I think that's going to come into play in this playoff series. Guys need to step up, and he's going to be one of them, I think, if Judge is slacking off or Soto slacking off, which who knows if they're going to slack off. They've been hot. Judge is definitely,
Yep.
I would say, either 1 or 2 in baseball right now. He's one of the best players in baseball.
Yep.
And Soto, not that far behind him. Soto's a top 5 player in baseball as well. I think that the Yankees, they're going to do their thing offensively today. They have the right guys. This is the time for them to show up. They showed up in the regular season, and I think that they could do it again here.
Yeah, Stanton batting behind Judge and Soto. I mean, obviously they're not going to throw them fastballs down the middle. They're going to be weary about these guys. They're going to pitch around them. And Stanton, especially batting fifth, even if Wells gets an out, it's going to be 2 outs, and Stanton's going to be up to bat, and he's going to have we're going to see a lot in this series. He's going to have a lot of 2-out runners in scoring position. Times, and he's going to have to show up, and he's going to have to get us that big hit, and he's shown, like you said, in the past, and also that big hit against the Orioles, that double with 2 outs. I think it was 1 out, I think, in that big double against the Orioles to win the division, put it right in the gap. And we don't need a grand slam, we just need just a ball put in play and just some runs, because with Garrett Cole on the mound, you can win this game, and this is the game you need to win, because you don't want to put your faith in Rodon, and then I think it's either Schmidt or Heel, but we're leaning towards Heel, who's going to pitch Game 3. The fans think, and Yeah, Cole's gonna have to shove, man. Cole's gonna have to give us 6 or 7 innings, especially when you're facing the we get the opportunity to face Walker versus Cole. We're not facing Cole versus Reagans. We're not facing Cole versus Lugo. We're facing Cole versus Walker. This is a must-win game for the Yankees. They have to win this game. They have to go up 1-0. They cannot go down 0-1, and then they have to play two in Kansas City. They cannot do that to themselves. Even though the Yankees have played good in Kansas City when they have in the last couple years, especially this season. They won 3 out of 4 in Kansas City. Obviously, it's not the playoffs. It's a whole different situation. The Royals were a really good team in June, but they the Royals they have nothing to lose, man. They have nothing to lose. They lost over 100 games last year, so you know.
Listen, the Royals, they're coming in. They want it. They want this. They're trying to prove, we're competitors here. We lost, like you said, we lost 100 games last year. They want to win. They're not here to lose against the Yankees. But like you said, they have nothing to lose if they were to lose this series.
Yep.
But to them, this is gonna be a do or die. This is a crucial, crucial series. They're playing one of the better teams in baseball, and they want to prove we belong here. They did that against the Orioles. They played against the Orioles. They swept them in 2 games. Big.
Yep.
In Camden Yards. Even bigger. I think they're gonna come in. They're gonna come in swinging. They're not gonna come in looking for walks. They're gonna come in looking to hit off of
Yep.
Garrett Cole today. They're gonna want to capitalize on the guy, especially a guy like Bobby Witt Jr., who has shown that he could be a key player on this team. He's showing flashes of being a future captain on this team. Bobby Witt is going to come and swing, and he has something to prove in this playoff series. Salvador Perez, the veteran, he doesn't have to prove anything, but he wants this more than anybody else. He wants to go back to a spot that he remembers back in 2014 and 2015, going to the World Series. He won one of those World Series, and he wants to do it again. And this is his opportunity, and it all starts with beating the Yankees here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean Salvi has killed the Yankees this year. There's no way to put around it when they've played. But Garrett Cole has not pitched against the Royals this year, so Salvi hasn't been able to face him. But Salvi's numbers against Cole is absolutely ice cold. So I hope that affects somewhat of Salvi not doing as much damage to us as he has done in other games this year. And yeah, I mean the Royals. I don't think overall are really good against Cole. I think Cole has had some really good starts in his past history against them. So, but this is a whole different team, man. And now Pasquantino's back too, so you don't know how he's gonna play off the IL. Batting third, it Pasquantino is gonna be huge for them in this series because batting third is no joke. And your sandwich in between Witt and Perez, that's no joke. And then, but also too, the Royals have like old people in this series. And Yuli Gurriel, I mean, you know what he's done to the Yankees in the past in the playoffs. I mean, I can bring up multiple memories of PTSD I have from this guy. Absolutely just killing us. Against Chad Green 2019, and then I think the other home run was off Severino in 2022 in game two. I think it was. Was it? Yeah, it was game two. Or, I don't know. It was either game one or two. He had a big home run. But this guy is, I don't think he's hit a home run yet this season. So if he does something against the Yankees, I mean, this is a guy you got to keep your eye on. He might be old. He might be 40 years old. And I barely played this year, but Yuli Gurriel is someone everyone should be keeping their eye on this series, especially Garrett Cole.
I was gonna bring that same thing up. It's almost like it's a situation where there's an odd one out here. Yuli Gurriel, seeing his name in the Royals lineup, it it raises a few eyebrows.
Yep.
People wouldn't really expect this guy to be starting, but they have a first base problem. Salvador Perez had to play first base for a while. And they know a guy like Yuli Gurriel, like you said, has experience against the Yankees. So they're going to utilize him for this game. They want him to go out there and use his knowledge of what he's done against the Yankees to do it again
Yep.
today. Especially against a guy like Garrett Cole. He was teammates with Garrett Cole. He knows how Garrett Cole pitches. He is going to try and go out there and capitalize on Garrett Cole.
Yep.
Will he be successful? Who knows? Garrett Cole has gotten better. over the years. And maybe this time he won't be so lucky against the Yankees like he was when he was on the Astros, even though he posted a 222 batting average lifetime in the postseason against the Yankees. Let's see what he does today. Different team, different scenario. Let's
Yeah.
see how Yuli plays in a critical game one.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I do believe the Yankees are going to win this game. Obviously, my bias and being a Yankees fan, but whatchamacallit, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees, if they're going to lose any games in the series, game one is going to be one of the games they lose. The Yankees have been on better on the road this year, and they haven't played in 5 days, and the Royals are coming off being the Orioles, and this is the Royals. This is a game I think if the Royals can win the series, this is one of the more winnable games. Do not let the Yankees get hot, but do not let them get hot because this is the same thing with the Phillies and Mets. You just played baseball. They've had off. Don't let them get hot. Win the first game after you just played a couple games and you've already played playoff baseball. And the Royals are on the road. They were on the road in Baltimore and now they're back in New York. So, man, I think Yuli Gurriel is going to be one of the guys you have to keep your eyes on this game and this series. And like I said, he's batting behind Salvi, and the Yankees, if it gets to a situation, they're going to pitch around Salvi, and that's the guy that's going to come up behind them. And this is going to be a big game for the Royals, man. Game one on the on the road, you take one on the road, you only got to win two at home. So
I feel like these game ones here for these New York teams, this is not only going to test the players in these situations, but this is testing the coaches. We've seen Aaron Boone in the past. Aaron Boone, he's taken the Yankees to the playoffs every single season that he has managed this team. He has not yet taken them to the promised land. He wants to start this series off on a good note, especially with the Yankees dagger getting eliminated, the Houston Astros. With the Astros out, the Yankees, this looks like it's up for them right now. That's the team that has been eliminating them from the playoffs constantly, and they want to get past that. They want to let that be the past.
yep,
They want to look towards the future, and the future is now for the Yankees. They have the right spot going against the Royals in the first round.
yep,
This is perfect. And now we just got to see how Aaron Boone is going to capitalize on this. And as well as Carlos Mendoza, we got to see how Mendoza is going to capitalize on the Phillies. We've seen what he does in the regular season. But like I said, this is postseason baseball. Everybody's brain is thinking differently. We've seen him make bonehead plays against Milwaukee, taking out Ryan Stanek. He's put Diaz in the seventh inning. We saw what he did against the Braves. He let Diaz go in too early. He gave up all those runs in that critical eighth inning.
yep,
The Mets came back, but it's all about playoff mentality, and these coaches, they got to show it. They got to show. I think if these coaches show their playoff mentality, they show that they want to win, the players are going to follow. It's not all about the players, it's also about the coach. And the coach's attitude is what matters the most. And I think if Aaron Boone shows that he wants it today and he doesn't take this game easily, he takes this game, he treats it like a World Series. I think the Yankees are going to go in fierce and they're going to go on and win by a landslide today.
yeah. It's gonna be the Yankees play their cards right and they do what they got to do. They can win this game easily. But the Royals, man, they will be the pest in your side. They're gonna be there and they're gonna hang with you and they're gonna do weird things and they're gonna. It's just like the Guardians were 2 years ago. I feel like this series is gonna be so similar to that series, and how they're young and how they play baseball and everything. And I truly think that this is going to be a really close series, and the Yankees are going to their true colors are going to come out, especially in a 5 game series. So losing Rizzo sucks too, but I think the key to this game, especially like I've talked about earlier, I think it's Chisholm and Volpe batting back to back. If they can both get on and steal, double steal or something, I think something like that can happen in this game. That would be insane for them with Cabrera and Verdugo. If that's no outs and them coming up, Cabrera and Verdugo can prove themselves, and the bottom of the lineup to get hits like that. I think the lineup is perfect right now with those guys back to back with stealing bases. Those gives those guys a little more opportunity to do something and have something in the bottom of the lineup. Unlike I think the Royals bottom of the lineup is with Pham, who is okay. He's having like not his better years, and he's getting older. And with Isbel and Michael Garcia, like they're not that good, and with like the difference between those bottom of the lineups is the Yankees have more depth and they have more weapons that they can use. But the Royals are going to steal bases too, so you know they have pinch runners and stuff. So this is going to be, and Walker's going to have to pitch good, and they're going to have to go to the pen. They have some good guys out there, and so it's going to be a good game.
This is gonna it's gonna be a massive statement. This
Yep.
win is a statement win for any team today.
Yep.
It's gonna show that they're gonna play.
Yeah, I mean the Tigers are losing what 5-0 still. Is it still? It's not
Yeah, I
looking.
believe so. 5-0.
Yeah, I mean the Guardians are looking to play right now, and they're trying to prove that the Tigers are, I guess, yeah,
All
they're
right.
holding
Well,
it out. Wow.
that was playoff baseball. Now let's go into Sunday's football games. We got Jets, Vikings. We got Giants, Seahawks. Two games, two teams that have just been. You could call this an embarrassing season for both. You know, the Jets were expecting a lot from Aaron Rodgers. They were expecting maybe too much from Aaron Rodgers. They forgot that this guy is in his 40s. They were expecting a lot from their star receiver,
Mhm.
Garrett Wilson. And he has not scored a single touchdown in 4 games, which is just insane to me.
Yep.
That should be Aaron Rodgers' number one receiver, but this guy's getting treated like a wide receiver 3, I
Yep.
feel like. I
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to go for the Jets against the Vikings, who are 4-0 with the Jets ex quarterback Sam Darnold. That's just not a good look for the Jets right now. If your quarterback that you let go because you didn't believe in him is 4-0 to start the season,
And looking like the MVP.
that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the Jets tomorrow's gonna be a big game for them, man. The Jets want to prove something that they can hang, and Rodgers is still good enough to be that player. Then they're gonna have to go out tomorrow and they're gonna have to win this game. They're gonna have to give the Vikings their first loss. They're in London, it's 9 a.m. game. Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to prove that last week was just a 1 week thing, and that they were just off last week, and they're gonna have to prove that they can beat the Vikings, man. The Vikings are gonna be hard to beat. Their defense has looked insane, and Jefferson has been insane for them. Same with Aaron Jones, and Darnold has just done his job. I mean, there's no other way you can put into words on how good he's been for them. And like we said, man, Rodgers is gonna have to prove himself this week, and the Jets can either go 2-3, and they could be under 500, or they can go 3-2 and have a big statement win against the Vikings tomorrow.
And this is like it's almost like this game. What happens if you lose? Do you press the panic button? Do you start believing that the season's over? There's still more games to play. But going down 2-3 in the regular season after the first 5 games
Yeah,
with an all-star quarterback, I don't know.
yeah,
Who do you blame after that? Do you blame Salah? Do you blame Aaron Rodgers? Do you blame your receivers? I don't know. They're utilizing their star running back in Breece Hall. He has been running the ball a lot, but he hasn't been getting a lot of yards. They make him run the ball in situations where the defense is blitzing. And that showed a lot in that first game against the 49ers, which was just scary.
yeah,
They're putting Brees Hall in a position where it looks like he's going to get injured at one point, and God forbid that happens. But if they don't start throwing the ball more and utilizing their receivers or even their tight ends, something's going to happen.
yep,
You don't want nobody getting injured.
yep,
And they have to start giving Garrett Wilson better routes. I've seen that he's getting his yardage. That's what he's doing good right now. He's getting the Jets yards. He's putting them in touchdown positions. But if you're not using him to score touchdowns, what's the point?
Yeah.
You have other receivers for that as well.
Yeah, they need to get the ball in the end zone. They couldn't against the Broncos last week, and that's what killed them, man. And the Vikings, it's going to be hard to get in the end zone against them. Their defense has been insane. Not even just their offense, but their defense. I mean, like what I've watched of them the first week against I mean, it's the Giants, but the first week against the Giants, they absolutely killed them. And same with the 49ers and the Texans, man. They held the Texans to 7 points, but last week their defense did have a little bit of a slip up, and the Packers are good, but 29 points against the Packers, and just, like the Packers were really coming back in the game. So the Jets are going to need to see, they're going to need to break through that defense. There has to be something now that you can get through the Vikings defense, and there has to be a weakness, and the Jets need to take control of it, and they need to hit it, and the Jets need to win tomorrow, especially after this game. You have the Bills and the Steelers. The Bills, I don't know, the Jets barely beat the Bills. We beat them last year in game 1, but their record against them in recent history is just, it's not good. And the Steelers have been really good to start the season as well. So yeah, I mean, this is a big game tomorrow. You don't want to go 2-3 and have to play the Bills and Steelers. So big game for the Jets tomorrow.
Listen, 10-9 against the Broncos. That's an impressive way to lose, if I'm gonna be honest with you here.
Yeah.
No diss to the Jets here, but 10-9. That's they scored 3 touchdowns. If I'm not 3 touchdowns,
Three
sorry,
field goals.
3 field
Yep.
goals. The Jets only had 3 field goals. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone against the Broncos. This is a year for the Broncos to rebuild.
Yep.
They're not trying. Their quarterback is young. He's like a headless chicken running out there. And to lose like that to the Broncos is just sad. You
He threw
can't
his
go
first
out there
touchdown
against the
against them
Vikings
last week.
now. That's even sadder. You know, the Jets they're set to have one of the better defenses in the NFL, but they lost a game to the Broncos that should have been an easy win. They should have blew them out.
Yeah.
That should have been even like a rematch of the Super Bowl with the Seahawks and the Broncos when they blew them out by almost 40 points.
Yep.
That's what should have happened last week, but they couldn't capitalize on it. And if they're gonna play like that this week, if they bring that type of play into this week, if I am the Jets, I press the panic button. I don't like I said, I don't know who to blame. But to be honest, the key guy that looks like to blame might be Salah. He ever since he joined the Jets, I haven't seen a lot of progress from this team. They haven't made the playoffs. They haven't they win games, they just can't
They
go to
blew
the
it a couple
playoffs
years
and
ago.
they blew it. The Jets, they have to win this game. This is a
Yep.
must-win game, like you
Yeah.
said. They have to give the Vikings their first loss, and that'll be a stepping stone for them.
Yep.
Because with a team like the Bills, who are just dominating right now, the AFC East is just it's theirs right now.
Yep.
They have to they have to win. It's a must.
Yeah, especially if they want to try to
It's a
get the
must
AFC
win.
East and get over the Bills and
Yeah.
stuff. Because if they go 3-2, and the Bills, even if they win this week, I think the Bills are playing the. Let me see. They're playing the Texans, so the Bills have a hard matchup. So if the Bills lose, the Jets win. They're both 3-2, and the Bills are next week 3-2. They're against the Bills, and they win. They're winning the division, and it's what week? Will be week
They're up.
6. It'll be week 6, and they'll be winning the division. So, yeah, this is a big game for the Jets. You don't want to fall 2-3, and then if the Bills win, they're 5-1, and then or they're 4. It'd be 4-1, and then you're 2-3. It'd be hard. It's gonna be, you don't want to pull away too hard. You want to try to stay around them, and you want to hang around them, and you want to, try to win this game. So tomorrow's a big game for the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers got to prove himself. He's gotta prove he
He
can
has
hang.
to prove himself. And if the Jets, if it has to come to it, they have to put in Tyrod Taylor. Give him a shot. The guy, he's fast. He could use his feet. He could throw the ball. But if Aaron Rodgers can't do his thing early, you got to put in Tyrod Taylor and see what he could do. Because you can't risk losing another game, like getting your quarterback injured against the Vikings. And
Yeah,
this is only week 5. Week 5, you can't risk any of these things.
yeah, he
This
was
is
limping
a
last
key
week.
game for them.
Yeah,
This that's gonna play a big role, I think, in this game. I feel like the Jets have to secure Aaron Rodgers. If they let this guy get sacked too many times, who knows? Maybe his season is over again.
Yeah.
ACL injuries could always come back. And that's the last thing that the Jets want in this game is for Aaron Rodgers to re-aggravate that ACL injury. They don't want to have Tyrod Taylor start the whole season. So if I'm the Jets and they need to give Aaron Rodgers some rest, they let Tyrod Taylor play a few snaps. What's the worst that could happen that hasn't already happened?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to because you don't want to re-aggravate that. Especially last week, it was bad. He was limping at the end of the game, so yeah, it's one step away from him re-aggravating it. So he's gotta stay safe, man. And it's yeah, like you said, man. If he gets hurt, the Jets gave away so much for him, and just to him barely to play 5 games, 6 games. If you get, you can't let Aaron Rodgers get hurt, and they need to do their job tomorrow, man. They need to. Big game for the Jets tomorrow.
And and the last thing I want to talk about with the Jets here is that there's circulation, there's news going around. Devontae Adams, he wants to trade. One of the teams he wants to trade to, the New York Jets. I don't know how much of a good idea that would be for the Jets to make a trade like that. Now, we haven't heard anything further if the Jets have called about any possible trades, if they're going to pounce on that offer that Devontae Adams said that he wants to play on the team, if they're going to want to get him. But the Jets, there's a good side here and a bad side here. If you get Devontae, you're reuniting him with probably one of the best quarterbacks he's ever played with in Aaron Rodgers. They were great in Green Bay. What can happen in Rutherford? You
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen? Are they gonna play the same? Who knows? Aaron Rodgers, he's not the same quarterback. He hasn't proved that yet. We haven't seen Aaron Rodgers have flashes of being his Green Bay self in a while. He didn't play last season. He's barely played good this season.
Yep.
Davante Adams has injury problems as well. I don't think that's a good idea for the Jets, especially when you got a guy like Garrett Wilson at wide receiver one. You don't want to move a guy like Garrett Wilson to wide receiver two because he's going to get outshadowed by Davante Adams and you're just going to take away his stardom.
Yep.
This guy has potential to be one of the next great wide receivers. And if the Jets make that trade, they're just going to ruin him.
Yep.
And especially, I think if they ruin him in that way, he's gonna want out. I think that a Devontae Adams trade for the Jets will not work in their favor, and I don't think that they should go for that at all. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, that's what I think. I think they should use what they have because they have a solid team. It's just that they're not playing the right way. The coaching staff needs to get on time with them. They have to all come together and think of something that's going to work because they have the right players to win, to go to the playoffs this year.
Yep.
They're just not using it the right way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Jets get Devontae Adams at all. I think that they've gave up already too much for Aaron Rodgers, and you have to give up a lot for Devontae Adams, and you can't throw away your future for a quarterback that's, it was fine, but more that you won't have a quarterback, and you're giving away your draft picks and stuff, and it's not worth it to try to, even if you're not 100% sure that you're gonna go out there and win a Super Bowl. You just need to try to do, and like you said, they have a good enough team to do it. There's no need to add more. There's no need to go crazy. Just keep your picks that you have and just go for it. Just try. Try to win your games and don't trade for anyone crazy. There's no need to reunite them at all, I think, too. Yeah, so
All right, so
yeah, the last thing we're going to talk about is the Giants. Tomorrow they play the Seahawks. They play the Seahawks tomorrow. And Neighbors is out, so this is already not looking good for the Giants tomorrow. They're losing um, their rookie wide receiver in the first game after concussion, scary concussion in the first game. So they're going to look that Wandale Robinson's going to have to step up on the offensive side of the ball. Wandale and Slayton, and they're probably going to throw Hyatt out there too. They're going to give him what they wanted. Hyatt was not happy that he wasn't getting playing time, and this is the game for Hyatt. If you want to prove yourself that you are good enough to play and you're good enough to get that wide receiver 3 slot over Slayton or something, and I think Slayton's going to play. I know he had a little bit injury problem, but this is the game, man. You're going to want to prove yourself. He's going to get the ball tomorrow. They're going to be in Seattle, and this is a big game for him tomorrow.
listen, Jalen Hyatt, he's got to go out there, like you said, and prove himself. This is it. He's been outshadowed by Malik Neighbors this whole season. They've kept him on the bench. We haven't seen him. I feel like whenever I watch a Giants game, I don't see him at
Yep.
all. It feels like they're blinding him from the camera.
Yep.
You can't see him. I feel like I haven't seen him on the field. I feel like I haven't even seen him on the sidelines. It's almost like he hasn't even been with the team. And I feel like Hyatt, he's gonna come out tomorrow and he's gonna want to prove himself. But then you also got to take in that Daniel Jones is starting at quarterback. He came off of a hell of a week. You know,
Yep. Yep.
did we win? No, but this is crucial for him,
Yep.
especially after coming off of a Thursday night football loss against the Cowboys. He's got to come in here and he's got to want it against the Seahawks team who in the past has beat the Giants, but this is different circumstances. Daniel Jones has something to prove this season. That contract that he has is is causing a lot of ruckus around the NFL. Did he
Yep.
deserve it? People are asking. He's got to prove. And this is a crucial game. The Giants are already 1-3 to start the season. They should have won games that they didn't
Yep.
against the Commanders. They could have won against the Cowboys. They just couldn't capitalize on those moments. And this game against the Seahawks is a massive one. If they lose this game, I feel like almost all hope is lost, to be honest with you, because starting the season 1-4, you're just not in a good spot.
Yep.
You're really not. It almost feels like there's no comeback from that. You're looked at as one of the teams that's gonna get a first top three pick in the draft. That's how people are gonna look at you. And if Daniel Jones could come out here against the Seahawks and prove that we're here to play without Malik Neighbors, I think that's a massive win for the Giants if he could come out and prove that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game for Jones tomorrow to be able to prove himself that he can play without this guy, if he even wants to have a future on this team at all. But also, I just found out this too. I did not know this. I didn't even know this guy was hurt. Singletary is doubtful for tomorrow too, so it looks like Tracy's going to be our running back tomorrow. And what I've seen of that guy so far is he has been a weird running back, and he's not had many good opportunities to run the ball at all, and it's gonna be a weird game for him tomorrow. It's have to go in, and we're losing our running back and Neighbors tomorrow. So tomorrow, like you said, Jones is gonna have to. If even we want to have something this season, Jones is gonna have to prove tomorrow that he can play like this. He can play without Neighbors, and he is something more than just Neighbors. And the offensive line has made him a different quarterback because of how good they've played, and they're fully healthy, man. They're going out tomorrow, and that's Jones' job to get the ball to these guys, man.
Listen, you saying that's even more of pressure for Jones, and I think that's going to play a part in the Giants' offensive scheme tomorrow. Maybe we will see Daniel Jones running the ball more tomorrow since our key running back is out. We haven't seen Jones run the ball like he usually does. He scrambled a lot to get out of sacks, but we haven't really seen him run the ball. He's one of the better running quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's got to use his legs tomorrow. If they need him to, we got to risk things here. We don't want him getting hurt, of course, but he's fast. He's fast. He knows how to use his feet. And if I'm the Giants, I let him run the ball a few times. It worked for the Bills with Josh Allen, but of course, this is a different situation. This is Daniel Jones on the Giants, but he's proven in the past his feet could take him anywhere. He's like a fourth. No, I was just saying how you know he's got to use his feet, and that's going to play a key part for the
Yeah,
Giants tomorrow.
yeah, man. It's gonna be an interesting game. I can't watch tomorrow, but I certainly will follow along and see what happens, and hopefully they can win. Because if they can go 2-3 and try to turn the season around a little bit, and hope for some hope that they can at least be decent this year, and the Seahawks have been a pretty good team too, so they're gonna have to stop Geno Smith. They're gonna have to stop those guys. And they're gonna have to try to win a game, man. So hopefully the Giants go out there and ball.
Yep.
Yep.
It's going to be a massive weekend for New York sports. Let's hope every New York team wins this weekend.
Yep.
Yankees at home, Mets away. Both got games today and tomorrow. Well, the Yankees are off tomorrow. But let's see what happens. Let's
Yep.
see how these games play. And let's go.
Yep. And this is the first episode of this podcast. We're gonna keep making more episodes. We're just getting the hang of everything and just starting out. But this is only the start for us and this podcast as you guys see it evolve and everything. And don't forget, that's Pablo. I'm Nick, and we're the Five Boroughs podcast, man. That's us, man. That's us. So thank you guys for tuning along, and thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever you guys are doing. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Mets. Let's go Giants. And let's go Jets. We'll
Yep.
see you guys.